Hey guys, Swiffer here with a brand new series from Order where we teach you how to play champions like a pro. I'm here to take you through Galio, so let's get involved. For your standard setup with Galio, all you want to do is be looking to go into Resolve as your main tree. You go Aftershock, Shield Bash for the W synergy, and then Bone Plating or Second Wind, depending on whether or not you think they can all-in you or whether they have consistent harass. And then the last one there being Overgrowth. In your off tree, you probably just want to take Sorcery. You can kind of mix and match, like depending on what you want to do, but for like standard gameplay, you just want to go for Mana Flow Band with Absolute Focus. And then for your, like the little rune thing at the bottom, you want to go double Adaptive on the first two, and then either Scaling Health, Armor, or Magic Resistance, depending on who you're playing against. Your basic skill order is just Q max and taking 1 point in W and E at levels 2 and 3. And then maxing W second and taking a point in your ultimate, obviously, whenever you can. Summoner spell selection, very straightforward. What you want to be taking is Teleport and Flash in 90% of situations. The only other 10% might be against a melee matchup where you want to take maybe Ignite into Yasuo or Aurelia for those extended all-in trades, which will happen as you're both melee and you both will be contesting the wave quite regularly. But apart from that, there is no other summoner spell that is that viable on Galio. So Galio's laning phase comes down to basically you're a wave clear bot almost at level 5. Your Q in conjunction with your passive means that you one-shot the backline range minions, whilst having the W shield up means that you're not taking a lot of harass doing it in a lot of matchups. If you do manage to land Q onto the enemy champion, all the better, but it's not needed really to win the lane. You're there until you can get a proto belt, and then with that, like, you're just looking to push in mid as hard as you can and then looking to rotate to other lanes. If you do happen to get chunked out whilst wave clearing, that's why you're running TP in a lot of scenarios. So if you do take a bad trade, you just recall and hop back straight into the lane. Very, very easy, not very punishing. With team fighting, the kind of obvious way to go about it is wait for somebody else on your team to engage and then follow up with your ultimate. Trying to disrupt the team fight as much as you can and creating a zone the enemy team can't really walk into. After you've landed, try and see if there's a carry nearby, and if you do have flash up, it makes it a lot easier to get a W, like a taunt flash off onto their carries, and you kind of just one-shot them at this point, presumably after proto belt and everything, or you drop them very, very low for your team to kill. If you don't have flash up, use your E to either create a zone between your carries and the enemy and become a front line that your team needs, or try and wait for an opening so that once the enemy team overextends, you can EW and get a multi-man taunt off and hopefully clean up the fight. Make sure to play Galio around his cooldowns. You're playing him more as a mage instead of a front line. Once your Aftershock goes down, you are incredibly squishy, so just make sure to be very, very aware of that. After you get your initial taunt off, if you haven't killed anyone, make sure to back out of the fight and wait for your cooldowns again to come up before re-engaging. One really cool thing with Galio is if you manage to land a taunt on multiple people, or even in lane, and you still have your E up, if you charge it the opposite direction to where they are, then because your character steps back and then charges forward, it reduces the amount of time necessary for your E to hit them, which gives you a lot more damage a lot quicker. It also means that if someone's in front of you, like a tank that's blocking the carry, you can actually hit the carry after taunting both of them. So that's a really cool niche interaction that I think Faker probably, well, I saw Faker debut and I've integrated it into my gameplay, and it's just kind of something, if you perfect, will make your Galio that much more fearsome.